A few weeks ago, I was sitting in front of my desk, thinking about what this speech should be about. I was trying to find a connection between you guys and I. And I thought, oh, we do have something in common. We're all students at ICA once. So today, I wanted to share the story about my life after graduating from ICA. Let me start with an introduction of myself. My name is Huang, and I'm an ICA alumni from class of 2014. I came to ICA when I was in the 9th grade. I now have graduated from university with a bachelor degree in business management and another one in restaurant management. When I first came to ICA, I was a really shy girl who could barely speak English. And then I graduated as an 18-year-old who is very confident and excited to explore the world. This is what ICA meant to me, a place that shows you everything is possible. I was a good student, a straight A student. I participated in different school events, activities, and sports, making sure I was enough to apply to multiple universities in my senior year. Like most of you guys will be doing this semester. We try to show the best side of ourselves on our applications in order to get into our dream schools, and which I did. I was accepted into one of the top universities in the world, University of British Columbia in Vancouver, Canada. A science major, as I wanted to become a marine biologist one day. And on top of that, I also got a full scholarship by the National Science Council of Taiwan, which will cover my 4-year tuitions and also my living expenses. It just seems like there's a bright future right in front of me. And then it went downhill. As the semester started, I was very excited and very motivated. However, I soon realized I could barely keep up with the curriculum. I was really afraid to ask questions because I didn't want to look stupid in front of all my classmates. I always told myself, just go home and Google the answer online. It will be easier and save yourself from embarrassment. I started to lose confidence. Was I good enough to be in this school? Was marine biology the right thing for me? All these negative thoughts had brought me to a dark place. I lost motivation to get up in the morning and go to classes. I lost motivation to socialize with people. I lost interest in the subject I was studying. Was marine biology the right thing for me? Or was university the right thing for me? At the end of the semester, even though I didn't fail any classes, my grades were at the age of failing. Imagine this, you're a straight A student in high school, and then you become a straight B student in freshman year. That was a big disappointment for myself. So I didn't know what to do. I think what got me into that situation is because of my pride. I was too proud of myself in order to admit to the fact that I'm not good enough for this school. And I think the correct word is maybe arrogant. So at the end of the year, I found out that my grades were not high enough for me to even change my major. I decided it is time to find help. It took me the whole year to admit to the fact that I was overwhelmed and terrified by the whole situation. So I decided I need to go see my university counselor. After explaining the whole situation, she told me it is actually pretty normal for freshmen to feel this way. And what she suggested me to do is to take a gap year. For those who don't know, a gap year is when students take a year off or a semester off in order to learn through experience. There's many things you can learn during a gap year. You can learn a new language, you can work, you can travel. It is usually taken after high school and before university started. However, some university kids take it during university in order to rethink about the path they wanted to pursue. So I decided I wanted to take a gap year. But what should I do? One thing I enjoyed the most during my freshman year was cooking for my roommate. It was just some easy home cooking or baking cookies during my spare time. It's a way to escape from the stress from school. And what my roommate told me was that, why don't you just take a cooking class? Now I think about that, maybe it's for her own benefit, but at that time I thought it was a great idea. It's a nice skill to have, and I thought it would be coming handy when I'm looking for a husband. So I decided I want to start my culinary journey. But before I get into all that, there's one more thing. This decision was not free. It had a cost. I had to decide if I wanted to give up my full scholarship since I'm no longer a student at the university. I had a counselor who was assigned to me, and her job was to keep me on track during my academic year in order to get my scholarship. I told her about the decision about going to culinary school, hoping she would be understanding and being supportive. However, her response was shocking and unexpected to me. What she said was, "You are going to choose a culinary school over one of the top universities in the world? Are you out of your mind? Throwing your future away like this? I could not face your parents, and I'm very, very ashamed of you." Like, in my mind, I was thinking, was that the social expectation in Asian society? That for individuals or organizations, does society as a whole about what people should do? In Asian society, parents always have high expectation for their kids to become a doctor or a lawyer in the future. Jobs like working in the kitchen sometimes is assumed as a low-end job and are for those who never have a proper education. I think this is her thinking, but it is the 21st century. People should be free to do whatever they like to do because it really will limit people's creativity. So to me, the scholarship represents more than just money. It also represented my pride. And at that time, I thought it is time to put my pride aside and then start it from zero again. So I decided to give up my scholarship and have a whole new journey at this culinary school. And to this day, I still believe that going to this culinary school is one of the best decisions I have ever made. My school was right next to the biggest farmers market in Vancouver, so the ingredients we use are the freshest we could find. Even though the hours were long, I was loving every second of it. Our instructors teach us not only knife skills, but also the correct way and respectful way to treat each ingredient. We have a restaurant inside the school for real customers, so students have to come up with the menu and work under the guidance of our instructors. During the weekend, I will volunteer to work at hotels and restaurants in order to gain more experience. I finally feel like I fit into a group of people who share the same passion as me. At the end of the semester, I wanted to invite my father to come to my graduation because I want to show him what I have achieved during this year. At first, he thought this culinary thing was just a phase and I'll go back to university afterward. However, when the headmaster called my name and asked me up to the stage, he also announced that I have graduated with the highest score in my year. I could hear my father cheering from the audience seat. He was so proud, and I knew at that moment he was ready to give me his full support. So within 3 months after I graduated, I moved to Paris and enrolled into a whole new university. During these 3 years, I achieved so much. I was working at one of the top hotels in Paris as an intern. I also did an exchange program in Bangkok, Thailand to learn about Thai cuisine. And I did an internship back in Taiwan, working closely with farmers to learn more about local ingredients. During these 3 years, I used all the opportunities I could find. And then I graduated with a dual degree. And now I have just quit my job not long ago because I wanted to start my own business, which is all about fresh ingredients and handmade product. I wanted to share a quote with you. As Ernest Hemingway famously wrote in his book, "If you are lucky enough to have lived in Paris as a young man, then whenever you go for the rest of your life, it stays with you. For Paris is a movable feast." And I was truly the lucky one. If I haven't made all those hard decisions, I will never have a chance to move to Paris and have all this amazing experience. Like he says, Paris really stays with you, which is why I want to bring this Parisian lifestyle back into my business. I want to share not only delicious product, but also a fun and relaxing way of living. After graduating from high school, life might be more difficult than what you think it will be. You think 12 years of education is enough for you to figure out what you wanted to do or who you wanted to become. But Sometimes you just need a little bit more time and space to figure that out. High school sometimes feels like it's about fulfilling others' expectations, either from your parents or from teachers. But university is the time when you really need to take responsibility for yourself and make decisions for yourself. Because of my decision to go to culinary school instead of a university, people has called me all sorts of names. They went even crazier when I told them I'm going to start it from zero again in Paris. They'll always have something to say. But the most important thing is how to turn this negative energy into something positive. To me, the turbulence in life is about people's criticism against my own decision. It took me an extra 2 years to figure out the path I wanted to pursue. But I think that's okay. To me, it's worth it because now I know my worth and I'm honest to myself about my strengths and my weaknesses. Now, the most important thing is I only live up to my own expectation now. And to me, that is an indication of a mature and very successful person. Thank you, guys.